really wanted to start with the who is Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec Montfort. And the thing that's really fascinating about him is that he has been a subject of public fascination from the time he was 20 years old. That's when his first poster was like a hit on the streets of Paris, all the way till now. And you think about the name Toulouse-Lautrec and immediately it kind of conjures an image in your mind, maybe of Belle Epoque Paris, of a dance hall, or a dancer in a certain kind of costume, or an elegant profile. And his own life really seems like it only could have come from a novel. We see him now in other kinds of depictions in movies, for example, and he's almost become a caricature. And as someone who specializes in works on paper, I've really been fascinated by Lautrec's work in this area for a long time, and in particular about the impact that they've had. And I ask you just to think for a moment about the fact that Toulouse-Lautrec's career was only 10 years long. These are Henri's parents, his mother in a photograph, and his dad in a painting that Henri himself made. And their relationship began actually as a quite passionate affair. It seemed like it wasn't just a family match, but also a love match. But they soon discovered, after the first blush of passion wore off, that they were completely different people. Lautrec's mother was sober and pious and really frugal. She paid almost an unhealthy amount of attention to her only son. They slept in the same bed until he was 8 years old. And when he moved to Paris, she moved too. She took an apartment near his. They had dinner together almost every night. Lautrec's father, on the other hand, Alphonse, was a man of big passions, big appetites. He loved sport, he loved hunting, he loved food, he loved women. And his grandma said, when Alf shoots a bird, like in a hunt, it affords him 3 pleasures: of the gun, of the pencil, because he himself was an amateur artist, and the fork, because he liked to eat it. He was popular with his classmates. He made friends that would last for the rest of his life. And you see him here. That's him. In his little hat, at the front of the class in the atelier. And the students, Henri among them, were encouraged by the professor to go out at night, to sketch in the café concert and the cabarets, to kind of get a sense of movement of the dancers or the performers, just as a kind of way of studying, as a way of having additional practice drawing from live models. So, one of his favorites was a place called the Mirliton, and it was run by an impresario called Aristide Bruant. Bruant was a total character. He had moved to Paris from a rural part of France, and essentially, he became a spokesperson for the Parisian poor. He would write songs about their trials and their struggles. He would listen to their patois and their slang and absorb that and adopt it into his monologues and his lyrics. And he adopted this very specific costume. I say costume, but he wore it every day. If you saw Bruant, this is what he looked like. He had this broad-brimmed black hat and this big velvet hunting coat and the scarf and a walking stick.